Welcome to this DocQ training. In this short video, we'll learn how to create a new workflow from the beginning using DocQ. But first, let's understand what a workflow means. A workflow in DocQ defines the complete journey of a document, how it moves from one step to another, who it goes to, when approvals or signatures are needed, and when the final version is generated. In simple terms, it's a digital roadmap that automates how your document flows from start to finish. Now that you know what a workflow is, let's create one together. You can create a new workflow directly by selecting Create and then New Workflow, or by opening the Templates menu, choosing Workflows, and clicking the plus button. When you create a new workflow, the builder opens with two default steps: Start and End. On the right side, in the Settings panel, give your workflow a clear and descriptive name, for example, Employee Onboarding. This helps you easily identify it later among other workflows. Here, you can define key properties. Default Workflow makes this your main workflow. Send to FTP or File Transfer Protocol when complete. Sends completed documents to another system or folder. A new field appears to select the FTP site. Allow email copy to signers. Emails a copy to additional recipients. Teams define the permissions and who can access the workflow. Workflow tags add or create keywords for easy search, and document template link a template for automatic document generation. At the bottom of this panel, you'll find Relations. This section shows where the workflow is being used, for example, in which templates or ongoing documents it's linked. Let's look closer at the Start step. When you click on it, the Edit Step panel appears on the right. Here, you can rename the step and define what happens next using Step Outcomes. These are the possible paths your workflow can take after this point. Under Dynamic Outcomes, click Add Dynamic Outcome to create your first rule. Each outcome defines a route based on data or conditions. Inside it, you'll find options like Fields, Property, Add Test, and Add Group of Tests. When you choose Field, you're selecting an existing piece of information from the document, for example, an employee's department or location. Then, you can select a condition such as equal to, different from, contains keywords, is empty, or is not empty. For example, if the department field equals HR, the workflow follows path A. Otherwise, it goes to path B. You can also add multiple values, like HR or Finance. Besides fields, you can also apply conditions to document properties. Properties refer to details about the document itself, such as extension, file size, date of creation, number of pages, name of document, document teams, or document tags. For example, if you choose file size, you can set rules such as equal to, different from, greater than, less than, or whether it's empty or not. In addition, you can easily manage outcomes, clone, remove, or rename them using the three-dot menu or the pencil icon. Let's see how tests and groups of tests work. When you add several tests within the same group, DocQ applies an AND logic, meaning all conditions must be true for that path to trigger. For example, Department is equal to HR, and location is equal to USA. When you create another group of tests, DocQ uses an OR logic. If any group's conditions are met, the workflow continues that way. At the very bottom of the Settings panel, there's also an option to delete or restore outcomes, useful if you want to clean up or recover a previous configuration. When you hover over any step type in the left panel, you see a brief tooltip explaining what each one does. This helps you quickly understand the purpose of every step before choosing it. After that, select the step, such as the person step or any other step you need, and simply drag it onto the canvas. Once it's placed, use the right-hand menu to define its outcomes. Once your outcomes are defined, you'll see colored lines connecting the steps on your canvas. The green line shows approved paths, and the red line shows rejected paths. For example, if the start step is approved, it connects to a person step. That's the green line. If it's rejected, it follows the dotted red line directly to the end step. Now let's add one more step to show the blue line, which represents conditional logic. It adds flexibility to your workflow. For example, if the department is HR, follow the green path. Otherwise, the workflow takes the blue route to this new step. And that's it. Your first workflow is ready. We created a workflow, configured its settings, added conditional rules, and visualized the approval paths. With DocQ, you can turn manual document processes into smart, automated workflows, faster, simpler, and fully controlled.